Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the Ak47, one of the more underrated rifles in the Warzone. Not a lot of people played, and there's a reason, because the recoil is kind of like but I think the main reason is because people have never tried to analyze the gun and actually see how could they counter the recoil. How's recoil control and recoil stabilization going to work out? We're going to go down on the Ak47 and this whole explain series now and give you a whole new insight on the Ak47 and how to play it in the Warzone. And on top of that, I have some gameplay moments, snippets planned to actually spread throughout the video that you get a feeling for how good the Ak47 actually is.
Beats.
That is not just like ponies talking crap shit again. The Ak47 is actually trash. Let's compare the Ak47 to one of the more popular rifles with the Amax, because the Amax is kind of the Ak47 and vice versa. So we have the AK with the 56, 42, 35, 35 body damage, the same as exactly the Amax does have, but the AK has a slower fire rate than the Amax, which can be solved by putting on the new ammunition. So the AK has also a standard second ammunition, which then has lesser damage value, slight, but a higher fire rate than the Amax. How does that look in a time to kill chart? The time to kill chart shows us that obviously the Amax is the fastest killing rifle. It's like quite crazy how fast the Amax actually slaps people left and right. The AK though is not really far behind that. The AK is on a level of the MP5 when it comes down to the damage. And yes, you would be surprised, but the actual bonus ammunition is not worth it, especially because the bonus ammunition also steals range from you. As you can see, the damage fall off with bonus ammunition is kind of crazy, where the AK only has one damage fall off and then it just goes. And that's where it kind of dominates over the Amax to a certain degree if you play this together with a sniper, because the AK just doesn't go away in damage. It has the one damage fall off and the Amax is like, oh, the damage gone. Funny story, we're also looking at the headshot multiplier. For some reason, the special ammunition of the AK has an insane headshot multiplier. It's crazy. Look at that, how far we're going down if we're just looking at the special ammunition. Still does not make it worth it, because in the Warzone, you can't rely on headshots apart from if you're using a Cronus Max, then you can totally rely on them. Base AK47, nothing on it, just a scope so we can see what's going. Also only the 30 ammunition, because I'm quite liking the 30 ammunition. And here we already see the problem of the AK. So the AK has an okay vertical recoil. It's nothing super crazy, but the biggest problem of the AK is the spread. You see like one bullet here, one there, one there, one there, then there. It goes like, oh, that's the AK for you in a nutshell. So what we see here is that we don't actually need that much recoil control. What we need is a recoil stabilization to keep the gun on a path. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a full recoil stabilization build, then we're going to do a recoil control build, and then we're going to try a mix of these two, the hybrid. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we just saw the absolute crazy horizontal bounds of the AK47, and now we get to take care of that. And by doing that, we're going for maximum recoil stabilization. Quick introduction to recoil stabilization again. It makes sure that your aim stays on track and doesn't do the wide spread that you have seen on the AK. For maximum recoil stabilization, we're going to start with the muzzle brake. The muzzle brake gives you recoil stabilization minus aim down side speed aiming stability, but you're actually only at 8 ADS frames, which is fantastic, but you get 20% recoil stabilization. Then the second recoil stabilization attachment would be the Commando foregrip. The Commando foregrip adds, in this regard, 6% vertical and 15% horizontal bounce. So it even helps us with the stark vertical, and it does not add a single ADS frame. Obviously, as we put on the Commando foregrip, we can't forget about running the Romanian barrel, because the Romanian barrel has a foregrip built in that gives you recoil control, but the RPK barrel does not fall that far behind the Romanian barrel. If we compare the two ones, Romanian gives you 32% range, RPK 25. The ADS time is even better from the RPK barrel. Then you have recoil control minus 33%, which is obviously really strong on the Romanian barrel, but you can't use the foregrip anymore because the foregrip is built in and you get plus 55% bullet velocity. It's only plus 42%, but you're good because you already have a really strong bullet velocity on the AK. Now we have 3 attachment slots left. We could say, yeah, you don't need an optic on this gun, but I'm going to be fair. The AK has a lot of visual recoil, so I love to play this with the Corp Combat hollow sight and a blue dot. For the testing, we mostly put on now a GI Mini Reflex just to give you a good overview of how everything looks, but usually I do play them with the Corp Combat hollow sight and put the blue dot on. And then for the last attachment, a lot would say now, oh, Pony, you need ammunition. You need ammunition, 40 round mag, 75 round mag. The problem with the 40 and the 75 round mag is they actually do ruin the ADS speed of the gun, so you can't actually use them. And I do use use this together with a sniper. So the 30 round mag is technically more than enough. And what I do slap always on, and this is the most important part, is sleight of hand. Sleight of hand is so important because it kind of puts the reload time down to 1.5 seconds on the AK-47. Now, for the testing purpose, we're going to start though with a tac laser for the aiming stability. We're also going to, for the testing later, use a rubberized grip tape. But all in all, in the verdict, we'll talk later about sleight of hand more. A full recoil stabilization test 1. As you can see, the vert obviously not being taken care of, but all in all, the gun takes way more on the bullet path. Like all the shots, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, they're super clustered, super close. Not like that this mess here is anymore. But how does the full recoil control look? The full recoil control build compared to the recoil stabilization build would start with the compensator. Then you would actually slap on the Romanian barrel because that is 33% recoil control. We're going to also put on the rubberized grip tape. As I said, we're going to just maximize it out here now. Not looking at sleight of hand, not looking at anything, just looking at how viable can we pretty much make the AK. Full recoil control. Feels like it's half of what we had before. Feels like it's half of what we had before. And you can see again, obviously the bounce is back, but not that much, especially at the end of the gun, the end of the 30 bullets. We're extremely clustered. Like it's as if the power of the gun runs out and we just go super clustered. If we could now get a mix of these two, that would be the best AK build for the Warzone. How we're going to combine the full recoil control and recoil stabilization now. We're going to try to get best of both worlds. So first and foremost, we're going to slap on the compensator because it's plus 27% of vert recoil. That's insane. It does the most. Then instead of slapping on the Romanian barrel, which would just be 33% vertical recoil again, we put the RPK barrel on, which is some vert recoil too. We slap on the Commando foregrip, which is 15% recoil stabilization. We kind of miss out on 20% from the muzzle brake, but this might be enough to dominate in the absolute crazy hybrid build. We're also going to slap in the rubberized grip tape just to go for the maximum and see if this is the build to win. We're going to try two versions here. There's the one with the compensator, the Commando, and then we're actually going to put a muzzle brake and a different foregrip on and see if that makes a difference. Hybrid 1. Damn. Hybrid 1 is insane. Hybrid 1 is insane. Hybrid 1 is insane. Yes. Oh, the hybrid 1. I mean, look, we came from full recoil stabilization to like some, man. Yes. Yeah, hybrid 1 is in. That's fantastic. What a great, amazing build getting that together. Let's talk about what just happened here. Let's draw a verdict here. The AK can actually be crazy if you go for some diverse building, if you actually try out things. So we're going for the RPK barrel, compensator, Commando foregrip, core combat hollow slide. We're going to put the 4% recoil control off that the rubberized grip tape gives us for sleight of hand. Therefore, it's 1.5 seconds reload speed. It's click, click, reloaded. You have 30 bullets to slap people left and right. You have the damage of the AMAX. You have an absolute stable spray, the 1.5 magnification from the core combat hollow side. I would say this is probably the best AK that was ever built for the Warzone that ever has anyone come up with in the Warzone. Yes, you can't play the monolithic suppressor, suck that. The gun is still a fantastic beast and you're going to be absolutely slaying with it. Yeah, but I want the ADS speed. Look at my ADS speed. Cracked him. Down him.
Backside. Oh, his fucking teammate. Damn it.
Shit, he... Thanks for watching this AK Explained video. It was super fun to experiment so much with this gun. The Explained series is always trying to make guns viable somehow, to try to make them work out in the Warzone at any cost, even if you reveal yourself on the minimap. I hope you like this AK. Definitely drop your builds in the description below. We would like to see what AK you have been coming up with and if we're going to try that too. And yes, do not forget, there's going to be an AK gameplay video coming. A whole AK gameplay video showing off how fantastic the gun can be. Thanks for supporting us so much, guys. You have been viewing the videos so many times that we're actually earning some money where we can buy food for our babies with. So thanks a lot for buying food for my babies by watching these videos. You're absolutely appreciated. See you soon in the Warzone.